everyone and welcome back to Hedgehog Hollow. So today I'm trying to film the other way up. Some people have said that this looks a bit funny, so I'd love to know what you think of me doing it this way around, and I'll film whichever you prefer. So today I'm going to make this Nuts About You card using the Acorny Thank You, which is a current set that's carrying over. And my sentiment, You Make Me Ridiculously Happy, is one of my pre-order sets, Love and Affection. And then I've used the hardwood background stamp, which is also carrying over from the current catalogue. I made this card for my husband a year ago. On the 30th of April we got engaged, and whilst we got married before we got to our 1 year anniversary, we said we would just have an anniversary for this year, just for a bit of fun. So I've made him this card. I'm sure I'll write something nice inside of it before I give it to him. So the first thing we're going to do is make our card base, like so. This is what I mean about not scoring them, and if you watch my previous video, when you're using the craft cardstock, it's actually quite a bit thicker than the standard Stampin' Up cardstock, and that's why you need to pre-score your simply scored plate. So we need to put our hardwood on. So we need our hardwood stamp on the large block, and I want my early espresso, although you could use chocolate chip as well, or soft suede, depending what you've got in your collection. And I'm going to ink it up like so. And something I find with these really detailed stamps is sometimes it'd be quite hard to get the detail into them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my card base on top of it, and then I take my brayer and I put one finger on the end and I brayer up, put one finger on the other end, brayer down, and just cover that edge off. You do have to hold it fairly still because you'll get a blurry image otherwise. But what I do find then is, as you can see, I've got all my nice detail of my wood in there, in my cleaning box. So that's that part done. And what I've done is pre-cut, if I get my sample out here, you'll see I've got this lovely scallop circle, and then I've got the, which is Night of Navy. And then I've used this lovely Stampin' Up yellow, which I just need to double check for you. Crushed Curry, which is one of your Regal colours. And I've cut it out using something else that's coming out the new catalogue. And a lot of people have complained that a lot of the punches are being retired for the basic shapes. But what they're bringing out in lots of basic shapes, so circles, squares, ovals, hearts, I think as well, are these layering framelets. So what you get is squares or circles or whatever set you've got in lots of different sizes like this. And you also get the matching scallops. So you can mix and match. You could go for a small one and then you could lay up a few different colours, or you could lay up some scallops, or you can cut frames. So you could cut this on the outside, all still stuck down because they're brand new, this on the inside, and then you'd have a frame, like a picture frame. So it's lots and lots of different things you can do with them. So don't worry that you might think some of your favourite punches are retiring. They're bringing out something bigger and better, as they always do. So here's one I made earlier, a bit of a Blue Peter moment here, just so that I don't have to keep getting up to my big shot. You can see I've cut those two out using my new framelets. Pop that back in the box. So I'm going to pop those to the side while we make our acorns, and we'll need these scraps later to make our banners down here. So, Nuts About You. We need our Acorny Thank You. We need some blocks. Grab some off my table here. These are blocks that I've accumulated over the years, and some of my normal Stampin' Up ones as well. It's much easier to have everything mounted up, and then you can just stamp away. So this coordinates with the acorn punch here, which is what we're going to use to punch them out and to make our acorns up with. So I need 2 acorn bases, which I'm going to do with always artichoke. So that's one. Oh, it's not a very good one, we'll do another one. We'll do another one in this corner. It's better. And then what I do while I'm while I've got my ink pads out, I'm going to use the cherry cobbler, which is my red colour. And I like to stamp the tops onto them, because when I'm layering up the 3D, sometimes you can just see underneath, and it's just nice if you can see the same thing underneath as you can on top, which is why I do mine this way. So there's one acorn, and then I need to punch out another spotty one to layer up here, another stripy one there, and I'm just going to grab another piece of very vanilla because I stamped that other one out wrong. Excuse me. And we're going to do a cherry cobbler again. I'm going to do our Nuts About You. Okay. You have to excuse me today, Hollowers. I've got we all seem to have a cold ready for the inevitable bank holiday weekend in England. I'm just popping these two pads out the way so we don't get them everywhere, which I have a habit of doing. So we need to punch out our acorns. So I'm just going to trim that off of there. Got our nice stripy scissors. These are Fiskars scissors if you're trying to find them. And we can just go underneath in our punch and centre it up where we want it to be. Ooh. That's one top. Two tops. Those. Punch out our second acorn. And our Nuts About You. Okay. So now we'll assemble our squares here. That one away from it. So we'll grab our snail, which seems to have gone missing off my desk. So I'm going to use a little bit of the tear tape. Aha, snail. Had children crafting in here today, so everything seems to have disappeared. We're going to stick down our base acorns. Just a little bit of snail on the back. And one there. And one there. Now we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of our acorn tops. I'm sure they've got a technical name. Now, one dimensional is actually a little bit too big. It's quite snug to put them on. So I tend to use some of my edge pieces. So I'm going to use two of those little points per back of the acorn. So you still get the height of a dimensional, but they fit on there nicely. And it's a way to use up your scraps. Harlequins can go on here, spots into there, and now we want to put our Nuts About You somewhere in the middle. Now you need to remember that this bit is already raised. So if you put a dimensional anywhere where this spotty bit's going to be underneath, your nuts about you is going to stick up too much. So I'm just going to hold it roughly on there. I'm going to put one on the opposite side of the top and one somewhere near the bottom. If I stick it on, you'll now see that everything raised is quite level. Now your other option would be to put two dimensionals on top of each other here and here, and then one here, and then it would be even further raised. And our next bit, we need to do our banner, which I did have in my hand a second ago. And we need our You Make Me Ridiculously Happy, which is on a block ready for me here. And I use the early espresso again for my sentiment. So I'll tap that gently on there. And it wouldn't be the first time today that I've stamped sentiments upside down, so I'm just going to take a little bit of time to get it right. Now here's my top tip for getting it exactly how you want. So the crushed curry, it doesn't matter particularly. What I do is take the bit that I've just cut off, work out where I want my point to be on my Ridiculously Happy, grab a pen, draw a line, and it seems to be losing everything to do. Snip across just where you've made that line, pop it back into your banner punch, like that. Oh dear. See, not having a good day. Always when you're recording it, it never goes right. Let's just do another quick one. We'll grab a piece of Very Vanilla. We'll grab our, don't know where I put this, so we'll grab the chocolate chip. I'm sure no one will notice. I'm going to stamp that down. I have this ruler that is exactly 1 inch. Well, grab our pen. Just because my paper trimmer is on the other side, I don't want to leave you while I'm trimming the other side down slightly so you don't see my black line. Try that again. And this is a little bit over 1 inch, so I'm going to improvise just slightly. Just going to check it on the other side. And this is the other thing with the banner punch. If you don't want a 1, 1.5 or 2 inch strip, you can do it yourself. You can just turn it over like this, position it in the middle where you want your point to be, and cut it out like that. Much better than the first time. And we'll stick this one on. Trim that up to be the same size. And you could use any sentiment on here. It hasn't got to be that you make me happy. It could be something like you make me smile. There's also on here, sending a smile your way. That would work perfectly. Every kind of lovely word I could possibly think of. You could use the thankful here on the banner, and you could cut that out. So there's lots of different things you could use. And I'm going to stick a dimension on this one on. There we go. So that's your nuts about you card. So as if you look under the video that I've made today, you'll be able to see a link to the blog where we'll have all the cutting instructions. So this is half a piece of A4 folded in half, 1 inch strip, and it should have been a 1.5 inch strip. Didn't quite go right on the video, but I'll correct all of that for you. And I'll also have a list of supplies. So current supplies will be on there now. And then what you'll find is there'll be a second link under the blog. So post June the 1st, if you're watching this, you'll see there's another link on the blog, and that'll be a second blog post which will show you how you can get your hands on the new framelets and this new stamp set, Love and Affection, so that you can use that one too if you haven't got a sentiment you already want to use. So thanks for joining us today. Didn't go perfectly, I'm afraid, but that's stamping. And happy stamping. We'll see you again soon. Bye.